And you know what? I remember in Mario Kart 8, like your episode of it, you mentioned that you're like, I don't like anybody from California, and yet
Yes, I was like, I really don't. Well, it's not like I don't like anyone from California. It's just how I say it.
Texas is it Texas pride? I guess you could say.
Oh gosh, I have too much Texas pride. Like, I'm like freaking Sandy from SpongeBob without the
Oh,
accent. Not that I don't like California. I just what really got me, and it's not California's fault. Honestly, it's the whole really like I've never been to California, so the bad economy. I just hear the economy issues, and when Arnold Schwarzenegger was elected governor, I was like, what are they thinking over there? Really? I'm like, really? But then we have our crappy governor Rick Perry that's just crappy. But anyways, that's politics and whatnot. We don't need politics on this show, but
no, definitely not. But one thing that California does have going for it, despite the fact that we've had our problems, is the fact that I live in a city where we live nearby a river, and so we have a source of water, but it's it's one of those cities that you don't easily get lost in. I mean, I can probably get lost in Houston just like that, but Sacramento is one of those places where you just can't get lost as easily. So it's like once you know your way around, you can probably find what you're looking for. So I mean, so it's that kind of city, and I understand that your basketball team is pretty good, if not. I mean, it's okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure you remember the ones in the mid '90s.
yes. Well, I actually didn't know too much about the Houston Rockets until I actually moved here, and then my brother-in-law is actually a big fan of them. He's a big fan of. Oh, what's his name? His last name's really hard to pronounce for me. Olajuwon?
Oh, Akeem Olajuwon.
Yes, yes, yes. But he loves him, and they had a meetup here in Houston last summer, and I actually went to it, and I loved it. They showed off the new players for the season. That's where I met Jeremy. Oh, I didn't meet Jeremy Lin, but I fell in love with Jeremy Lin. But yeah, I got some souvenirs from my brother-in-law and all that good stuff. But
Yeah.
I forgot what the Sacramento team is.
Oh, well, we have, let's see, I mean, or as far as our new owner, we have a new owner, thank God, because the ones that we had, they were not doing us any favors whatsoever. It was as if they wanted us to get out of Sacramento, or at least the Kings, I should say, excuse me. But it's like they were tanking in. It's like, really? Is that what you're going to be remembered for? And I'm just thankful to the good Lord that we were able to get an owner that wanted to keep the team here and not move to Seattle, even though Seattle would be a good place, though. I will admit that. But I want to keep the team here, and, that's just my pride, I guess you can say. But then again, who doesn't have that when your basketball team is the only team you have? And it would just be devastating if we had lost it. But I'm so thankful. I'm just so thankful that we have a team, and that we're also thinking of getting a new building. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, isn't Sacramento the capital of California?
Yes, it is.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It is, and I mean we have Cousins, DeMarcus Cousins. I don't know if you remember him.
Yes.
Yeah, the guy who gets himself in trouble quite a bit. Or at least that's what many people think of him. And then we have Rudy Gay, and yeah, that is his last name, so don't make fun of it.
Oh no,
definitely not. So yeah, we have Rudy, and he's pretty damn good. In fact, we needed somebody to take the load off of DeMarcus or Cousins rather, excuse me, because I mean, as good as Cousins is by himself, he can't carry the load all that often. You would think he would, but he can't. I mean, that's what Akeem Olajuwon was doing up until he got some help. But before that, he was the whole damn show. And it wasn't until he got like Kenny Smith, who else? Robert Ory, and I'm trying to think of all the great players that. Oh, Clyde Drexler. Because Clyde Drexler was a trailblazer, and then he came over to the Rockets because the Rockets, they just needed one more player to get him over the hump, and he helped them get over the hump. So, just like Akeem Olajuwon, Cousins can't do it by himself. So I'm so happy that we did get Rudy Gay and that we got Darren Collison, because we needed an experienced point guard, because the one we had, he was good, but he kept turning the ball over too many times, and that just it just really made me shake my head.
You're like,
So, I mean, I'm happy that we're improving, but of course we're not satisfied. And I don't think that your Houston Rockets are either.
Yeah.
You're not satisfied with just making it to the playoffs like you did last year, and then you got beaten at the last second, and I'm pretty sure it was a very bad feeling.
Last year did not go so well with the Houston Rockets. And don't get me started on the Texans. I didn't even know the Houston Texans, the football team, existed until I came here.
Yeah,
I was like, who's this team? Because where I'm from, the part of Texas I'm from, it was cowboy country.
Yeah.
Dallas Cowboys. So when I came here, I'm like, what? I didn't even know Texas had another team.
Well, to be fair though, I think it was 1996 was 1996 was the year that was the final year that the then Houston Oilers were in Houston, and then they moved over to Tennessee to become the Tennessee Titans. So there's a little history lesson right there. But the Houston Texans, and then for years you guys did not have a team, and then Houston Texans come in 2002, and of course you've had years where you didn't make the playoffs because you were a then expansion team. But your team is really good. I mean, the one person that has a large part in the success, if at all, is J.J. Watt.
Oh, yes. He is
He's the man.
He is the man here in Houston. Everyone loves him. And I don't know too much about him just because I'm not from Houston. But what I've seen of him, he is a really awesome guy. He actually has been delivering pizzas randomly throughout Houston to surprising families. And I think last week, he'll go to, little kids' houses and be like, hey, here's your pizza. He'll be dressed up as a pizza guy. But he does a lot for the community. He's always on the news, the local news. He's just I think he's a really good role model for people, as far as I know,
You mean an ambassador?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing about, oh no, wait, that was a guy that we used to have, but that's right. His name is Ben McLemore. He's a second-year player, but he took up the mantle of being, quote, the pizza guy, for the Pizza Guys chain. I don't know if you guys have that here. The Pizza Guys?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Yeah, okay, so maybe you wouldn't have known that, but that's what Ben McLemore does. So,
but I do know that name, so I could have heard Pizza Man the Pizza Guys somewhere before.
Yeah, they call him the Pizza Guy. But that's just without saying, really. So yeah, we're big sports fans, me and Via. So there's a lot of stuff that you didn't know about me. You didn't know I was a big sports fan.
What is your favorite sport?
Oh well, I've loved basketball for many years. I mean, this was back when Sacramento was actually good. So, but after that, up until we got a new owner, I started to like a new sport. And this is going to be surprising to you. I don't know if it comes as any shock to you, but that new sport is hockey.
Oh. Yeah, actually, that is surprising. I wouldn't have thought you would like hockey. I was actually expecting soccer. I was like, are you gonna say soccer?
Well, I mean, soccer's good and all. I mean, I do like the FIFA World Cup.
Oh, the World Cup. Jeez.
I mean,
Oh.
believe me when I tell you, I really wanted Mexico to win the World Cup, but I don't know if Mexico has ever won a World Cup.
Uh, it's funny. I rarely root for them. I root for other people instead of them. And then my parents get all mad at me. I'm like, well, if I see Mexico play in the United States, I'm gonna go for the United States.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty split here in Sacramento. Like, you'll see a lot of people dressed either in Mexico's uniforms or the United States. Like, it's like Bedlam here,
hmm
especially when the World Cup comes around, or what's the other cup that comes every 4 years that alternates between?
Uh,
Is it the Confederations Cup?
mm,
It might be. I mean, I don't know.
I'm not positive.
Well, well, I know that we do something like that, and it's like, wow, just the
hmm
fact that we it gets big when soccer comes around, or football as it's called in
hmm
most other countries. I always have to be careful not to just call it soccer all the time, because then people
Yeah.
just get mad. People are fickle like that. Sadly,
hmm My dad is like that, unfortunately. He's like, it's not soccer, it's football. I was like, yeah, whatever.
uh, but soccer, or football, I should say, is no different than hockey, because you have to score goals.
hmm
But the fact that you can do so many cool things with skates and a stick, it's like the stuff that some of the players come up with, like what is it, Wayne Gretzky, like from the olden days, like
hmm
the stuff that they did as well as the stuff they do now. It's like, wow. It's like I don't have that kind of mad skills.
Or like the plays, especially when I've seen hockey live and I've seen hockey on TV, and where I'm from, we have a hockey team that goes, and I'm not sure if we're like national or what, but we're local.
Yeah,
And I saw them live, and it's some serious stuff. I'm just like, and it's so fast. Like, you have to really, to me, I have to really pay attention to where the puck is going,
that's
and
exactly
then
right. In fact, Wayne Gretzky was the one that sped up the game, because it's like, in the words of one historian, while the rest of the league was playing checkers, he was playing chess.
mm,
So he was the one that sped up the game to the point where guys were scoring goals like crazy. I'm serious. Like, before, it used to be like low scoring. I
hmm
mean, nowadays it is low scoring, but it depends on the skill of the team and the goaltending and the rest of the team and their ability to score and all that stuff. So it depends on the talent of the team. But after that, um, it's a bit balanced nowadays. But back in the day, it used to be very, very low scoring. And then when Wayne Gretzky came along, scoring just went up through the roof. I'm serious, because the fact that Wayne, he played it much differently than how it was played back then. Instead of going to where the puck is, he would go to where the puck is going.
hmm
So, and that made a huge difference in, uh, how he would eventually become the legend that he is. So the fact that his style of play was innovative, which is what I was trying to get at.
hmm
And then, so yeah, and then after years of high scoring, it's now more balanced out nowadays.
hmm
But
But
but yeah, I'm surprised that you didn't know that I was a big hockey fan.
I wouldn't have guessed. I watched hockey a bit when the Olympics come. I love watching the Olympics. Whenever it comes, I watched it a lot. I love the ice skating, actually.
Oh,
I lived for ice skating. I was like, oh my god. As far as watching it, I've ice skated before, but can never do the tricks. Oh no.
oh God! You know what? Last time I tried to skate, I kind of, thankfully, I had a helmet on, but I hit the back of my head when I slipped. It's not fun.
It is not. So.
And I was
head on concrete, but
that was just an 11-year-old Toad back then.
Oh, that poor Toad.
It's so sad. But I mean, it was a lot of fun though. I tried it once, but I'm probably not going to do it again because I don't think my legs are strong enough to stay on the ice, and I don't want to bump my head again.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like whenever I watch these, the figure skaters, fall, and I'm just like,
oh no!
Especially when it's like the partners, and,
and they have to lift up the guy has to lift up the girl, right?
Yes,
And then they miss one step, and then either she hurts herself so badly, or he hurts himself when she lands on him. Or a combination of the two. It hurts. I mean, I'm like, that's why I'm not, I'm thankful I didn't play that. I played like softball or, when I was much younger. And baseball is also fun to watch, especially when you have nothing to do in summer.
Baseball. I'm not a fan of baseball. Oh, I tried watching it, and I'm just like
bored.
I get bored out of my mind.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, it's one of those sports that you have to have patience. But one thing, you know what they should do for baseball? You know how the NBA has a shot clock?
Yes.
They should do a pitch clock.
Oh, they should.
Because I have a feeling. I mean, it drives me crazy that. The pitchers take too long to go into their windup. It's like, come on, just throw the damn ball already.
Yeah, that's the big part of why I don't watch it, because they're just like, and like the announcers to me are just so boring. I'm just like, oh my god, these just